Hello, it's Ruby Burrito, and welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to talk about gear. So, I've made videos in the past talking about, for example, I made all the Gen 1 legendaries in the game, and now I'm working on legendary armor. But I wanted to take some time and explain the different rarities of armor, their uses, and what you should keep an eye out for. So if we take a look at my inventory, there are 8 different rarities of just any type of drop. So there's junk, which is going to have a gray. You can sell these with a very easy click to any merchant. There's white. That's going to be basic. We have fine, masterwork, rare, exotic, ascended, and legendary. I struggle sometimes to remember all of them because I think of them as greens and blues and yellows, and then it's exotic, ascended, and legendary. But most of these, it's junk, white, blue, green, yellows. Rares I remember, but basic, fine, masterwork, I don't always remember exactly what they're supposed to be called. But if we take a look at this chart, you can see that if you have the basic be the relative stat base, fine is a 25% jump, masterwork is an 8% jump, rare 7, exotic 14, and ascended 6. So you can see that this number keeps going up, and it's just a jump based off of the percent difference between this one and the last. So this is a 10% leg up per the basic, but it's only 6% higher than exotic. And actually, when you get up to ascended and legendary, they have the same stats. So to get these items, you can see up at the top here, I have 208 pieces of common unidentified gear. This is typically going to give you blues. It'll give you a blue minimum. It has a chance of giving you things that are higher, but it's most likely going to just give you a blue. I don't believe it can drop ascended or legendary. I don't think there's anything in that pool for any of these, but the green will give you a base masterwork and has a chance to be rare or exotic, and then the rare gear, of course, will be base rare and have a chance to drop exotic. A lot of people use these as a method to farm for precursors, for example. A precursor is an exotic item that allows you, or is part of the recipe to craft a legendary weapon. As I said earlier, I crafted all of the Gen 1 legendary weapons. If you go to your equipment and you have a legendary unlocked, you can see the purple here. They show up at the top, and you can see this icon. That means that this is the legendary armory. You can change out your weapon at any time. I could just toss a greatsword on, and now it's 0 out of 1. I can go right back to Juggernaut. This is kind of a fake inventory, a faux inventory that's not really there, but you have access to on every character across your entire account. So while legendaries have the same stats as ascended items, you can see I have ascended trinkets and accessories over here. They have the benefit of not only being able to be used on every character on your account, but you can also change their stats at any time. You have access to every stat type in the game, and you can change it whenever you want out of combat. And if you have full legendary, let's go down to Bolt, I've got Berserkers. If I check this box, every legendary item that I have is going to switch to Berserkers. So now you can see that my Juggernaut is a Berserker stat item. So what does this mean? If you want to do high-end PvE content, because PvE is mostly where stats matter. It does matter for World v World, but that's a whole different beast. PvP has its own gear set. You can see if I go to if I go to my standard equipment here, I can switch to my PvP equipment. And then these are the same weapons that I have in my PvE, but they are specifically for PvP. So if you have exotic gear, you can run raids. When I did my first attempt at raiding years ago, I had only exotic gear. Ascended gives you some more attributes, which is nice, and they're definitely harder to get as a result of that. So accessories here you can get from, for example, a Laurel Merchant. We can go over to the Laurel Merchant right now, and I can show you that you can get Ascended gear from them. However, if you want Ascended armor, there's a few achievements that give you them, and they are therefore stat selectable, or you can craft them. Crafting them requires things such as the Bloodstone Dust. You have to get some, if we go to the bank actually, there's some higher level Ascended crafting materials. If we go down, there's advanced crafting materials here, and then there's Ascended crafting materials. You have to craft things like Deltramore Steel Ingots, Alonian Leather Squares, higher tier, much rarer, and if I can pull one of these out and just show you, these are much more expensive. Each individual one of these is 2.5 gold for the Alonian Leather Square, because it requires you to have a certain amount of leather. The Deltramore Steel Ingot, more than that. So Ascended is useful if you're trying to make sure that you are as helpful as possible stat-wise. Legendary is even harder to get, but it has the most benefits. There are plenty of other videos and other resources for how to get Ascended and Legendary gear. I will put a link in the description below. Interesting. I'll put a link down below. I'll put a link down in the description that is to Ascended gear, where you can get Ascended gear from achievements, and how to craft some of it, as well as the page for just Legendary gear. That's gonna wrap it up for today. I'm currently working on getting all of my Legendary gear. It'll help with fractals, because you can't put, I don't have it on this character, but you can see the unused infusion slot. I can't put infusions on exotics. There's an upgrade slot here, but it is not an infusion slot. So keep that in mind. If you want to do fractals, you need Ascended gear to get to, at least Ascended gear to get to the higher tiers. Legendaries are very fun for me to work on. If you want to do legendaries, you have to do World v World to get the Gifts of Battle, but then most of the rest of it could be just PvP or PvE. You can do PvP for farming. A lot of them are available on the trading post. We'll just go with the Bifrost, because that's the first one that came to mind. They're expensive, but you can buy Gen 1 and Gen 3 legendaries on the trading post. Gen 2 have to be crafted, but there's not Ascended gear that you can buy on the trading post that's account bound, so you cannot sell it to other players. Yeah, like I said, I think now that's everything that I want to say about gear. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down below. I'd love to answer them. I will also be live Monday evening, an hour before reset, as well as Wednesday evening, an hour before reset. I'm getting very close to hitting 50 followers over on Twitch, which means I will be doing a giveaway once that hits. I'll do an announcement of sorts to let you guys know, and then I have some other metrics for YouTube where I will be doing more giveaways. I think this one's going to be something like 500 gold. I've done some precursor giveaways in the past, but it's going to be a little bit easier to just do the straight up gold so that people can use it for what they want. So yeah, if you want to come join me over on Twitch, the link will be down in the description for that as well. And then again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'll be live. You can come ask me them in Twitch, and we'll see ya in the next one.